Okay, hello everybody. I'm bringing my screen up here. Welcome to the weekly Marketplace and Add-ons webinar where we kind of just get a little freaky deaky with some functionality that complements or extends Conversion Plus and KV Core. Can somebody just let me know you can hear me? I'll continue on and say that all the replays of these, in case this is your first time here and you need to hop off, all the replays are available at insiderealestate.com/replays. We'll make sure you always know about those. We post them to the Facebook groups, we message them in the chat widget in your dashboard, and so on. So yeah, just let me know if you can hear me. What we're going to do today, the topic is a new item that's been added in the last 24 hours or so to the marketplace. I think it's been in the Conversion Plus marketplace for a little while, and it was just added to the KV Core marketplace, and that is the Thanks.io postcard, handwritten postcard system. And at this point, I'll make a full disclosure. I'm actually a co-founder of Thanks.io. You guys are on these webinars with me. I'm an employee of Inside Real Estate. But just so everybody's aware, I know this product really, really well, and that's that. So let's go ahead here. I have this document I'm going to share with you guys. Hi, John. Thanks for letting me know you can hear me. That's always very helpful because you never know if you're talking just to yourself on these things until somebody says something. I'm going to send this document link to everybody. And if you guys could do me a favor, if you do, please don't go directly to the Thanks.io website and sign up. Just use the marketplace link, or I put a link inside this doc that you can use. What that'll let us do, it'll kind of let us let you be tagged on both the Thanks.io side and on this side of things, that you are part of, you're a KV Core or K Plus user, and that you we can send you future real estate content. Sorry, my dad always shows up the worst time. He's coming in. Dad, I am so sorry, guys. Dad, I'm on a webinar. What's up? Yeah. You want to wait in the house for? Yeah, I'll be done in like an hour. All right. I'm sorry. Chat me what you need and I'll reply. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Stuff always happens. All right. So let's see here. We have the doc on the screen. I'm going to dig on in. That's out of the way. We have our link here that you can use to check out Thanks.io. And the other thing I wanted to mention before we kind of get into the topic, the tour of Thanks.io and what it's all about, is to show you the marketplace, the learning portal course that you also have access to, which is accessible from the left side of the dashboard at the bottom left of the learning portal right here. And Conversion Plus, I think it's a little bit higher up, but if you click Learning Portal and you go to all the courses, there is a full, slower, step-by-step course all about Thanks.io, as well as a bunch of other topics, our other marketplace items that will complement this webinar. So if it feels like I'm going too fast today, that's because I kind of am on these things, and then you can get the slower content in the Learning Portal in bite-sized chunks. Okay, cool. So let's talk a little bit about the theory here and what Thanks.io is. Thanks.io is a API handwritten postcard company. If we go to the home page here, and the pricing, I'll get that out of the way because I know you guys are going to ask. The pricing is either 99 cents a card if you're on the free plan. There's a wholesale plan that's $49 a month that gets your cards down to 49 cents a piece, and that includes postage. Right here. Bob's saying he can't open that link. Should be able to open the link. You may need to be logged into Gmail at the time, but I'll make sure with the replay we post that link. So Thanks.io, handwritten postcard solution, and some of the theory around this, I want to kind of mention that first, is that right now where we are in marketing land, in 2019, is that everybody's been doing digital, right? We're all doing pay-per-click, all Facebook ads, Google ads, everything online. And the last maybe decade or so, maybe 2 decades or so, a lot of the attention has gone away from the physical mailbox, where all the marketing used to happen with mail. It was one of the only ways you can get through to people. Now there's a lot less competition in the physical mailbox of your target audience. So that's one cool thing here. Think about your own mail. You probably get a lot less mail these days than you used to. Handwritten fonts, that's part of the theory here with Thanks.io, is that by doing a handwritten font that looks, a lot of our fonts look really, really well handwritten, these fonts will help get your cards opened more than email, meaning it's a pattern interrupt. People see it, it feels like somebody sent you a personal message, so it gets attention.
Next big point here is the cross-channel effect as a conversion technique. And what I mean by that is that there's potential these days with automation, with KV Core, with Conversion Plus, to take a lead that you get online and then cross the channel from digital to offline and put something physical in their hands that they're holding in their hands. You know, right there. And that's a powerful thing because people get distracted very easily. Think about your own behavior. You'll go to a website, you'll be checking something out, and then Facebook will ding, or the kids, or your dad will walk in. You know, the one time a week you see him ever, you never see him, but he walks in right as you're starting a webinar, and you get distracted, right? So that's that. So traffic and leads online get distracted. They forget about you, and what you can do is retarget with something physical in the mail with a platform like Thanks.io. Multi-touch farming still works. You know, that in real estate, that's always been around, where you send multiple postcards out to get listings and to get leads. That still works for people who do it. There are all kinds of videos on YouTube about it. I see coaches still talk about it all the time. And there are big companies out there still selling postcards in the real estate industry, which is sort of some proof that it still works and is something you can look at as a lead generation option. And then the final point I have in the doc before we actually get to the nitty-gritty and get into the dashboard is that KV Core and Conversion Plus allow for some really interesting offline to online opportunities with respect to postcards. They allow you to do, for example, you can send your text codes, your smart numbers, you can do vanity URLs that link to squeeze links, things like that. And we'll kind of get more into that again as we go through today toward the end of the webinar, and also there's some drill downs on that stuff inside of the learning portal. So I had a question from Bob. Is this something like send out cards? Yeah, it's like send out cards. I'd argue that the pricing is a bit lower here, and send out cards, well, I think the interface here might be a little easier to use, and there are some more features around automation with Thanks.io. But yes, a similar idea. So let's go ahead now and bounce in to the dashboard. I've got a lot of stuff going on here in the admin dashboard. And if it's all right with you guys, I'm just going to do kind of a quick tour to get you started, get you oriented with how Thanks.io works and the different things you can do with it. So the first thing I'll point out is if you go to the Send Postcards wizard, this is sort of a fast wizard, I wanted to show you some of the real estate specific templates that are available. So if we look under the inspiration section right here, we scroll down to real estate, there are some pre-built designs in there. So we have buyers want to sell. Here's one for generating listings, curious about your home's value. What's your home worth? And keep in mind, these are all sort of the pretty designs that go on the front side of the card. And then on the back side is going to be that handwritten font, which I'll show you in a second. So we've got extra leads. Here's a recruiting postcard, right? Fixer-upper list, free list of fixer-uppers. Here's one where you could do something like tampafixeruppers.info. You could overlay a vanity URL on top of, using our editor here, this, and drive people to a squeeze link that gets you leads in Conversion or K+. Happy House Anniversary. AJ's asking if it works in Canada. It does. The pricing's a little bit higher. You guys always get treated unfairly with pricing, but it is a little more expensive up there. I think it's down here. I think it's $1.10 a card or 99 cents a card in Canada, depending on your plan. But yep, it works there. Happy House Anniversary, another one. A couple of those ideas. Cash flowing income properties. And there's always more and more being added. I just kind of want to make you guys aware of these. And also, I figured by showing you some of these designs, it might jog your, it might inspire you a little and give you some ideas for how you might use this, right? Buy a house with no money down. There's a few property management cards in there. We pay fast cash for homes for you real estate investors. Another recruiting card. And if I bring a buyer, will you pay me a commission? So a FSBO card. And Judy's asking a great question. Can we put our own front on the card? Absolutely. You can easily upload your own designs into Thanks.io. You can ignore everything I'm showing you here with the inspiration templates and just upload or create whatever you want with the designer right here that I'm in right now. So yes. Okay, so that's sort of the mailing list section. I'm now going to show some of the options around getting your mailing lists in and the different tools you have. Now, you can upload lists directly from a CSV file. The CSV builder is very easy to use. You can manually enter addresses. It's pretty self-explanatory. Here's one of the really cool features. So if you're doing demographic, geo-targeted, prospecting, it's very easy to drop a pin like this, draw a square, and it'll just tell you how many addresses were found, and you can quickly add those people to a mailing list and send them one card or actually a series of cards, like a drip campaign. So that's that tool right there, the map builder. There's also a buy a mailing list tool built in. And this is where I'm really excited about this tool, because a lot of what you do with direct mail is going to come down to how targeted the list is, right? So dropping a pin around a just sold or a just listed, or if you're farming, a specific neighborhood, that's going to work just fine. You just drop a pin on the map and you're good to go. You just want to kind of hit everybody who's around. You're announcing an open house or something. But if you want to get really granular, you do have the option here to do some of the things that Facebook's taking away, right? With the data, they took away income with Facebook ads. They're trying to take away. I think they're taking away gender and age. You can still do that stuff here. So I could go into geography, pick a zip code or a radius around an address, and I can start to drill down. Is the person a homeowner or a renter? What is their income, right? How long have they lived in the house? So if you know the itch cycle in your market is somewhere between 5 and 7 years, people tend to move, you could build a targeted mailing list that gets you right in that range. 6 to 7 years they've lived in this zip code there. Now, this particular tool, because it's a third-party provider of the data, it's not a Thanks.io native data, you're going to buy those lists. It's going to instantly inject into Thanks.io, and then you can mail to those people as often as you want. But the pricing right here is about $0.10 a record, so 100 records is $9.95. So this is a really powerful tool. I could probably spend all day in here, but yeah, if you want to get really targeted about who's getting your cards, the options are right there. Okay. Next thing I kind of want to show you is the postcard retargeting feature. And that is where, if I'm going to go to just our blog site that we use here at Thanks.io. Hopefully it'll pop up for me. Sometimes if I'm logged in, it doesn't. Basically, what's going on is there's a JavaScript widget that you can install that's attached to a mailing list. And this is carefully explained by me step by step in the Learning Portal course. But this little pop-up that you see right here, it says, Thanks.io wants to know your location. And a certain percentage of people who come to your website, KV Core Conversion Plus website, will go ahead and say, yeah, allow. And then whether or not they end up opting in on your website or not, their address can be added to a mailing list. So we use this, Thanks.io uses this internally. So far, there are 1,800 people on the list here. Like Latricia, I don't know if you're watching, Latricia, but and I don't know if this is your right address, but I know that you're a user, so you just popped up on there. I didn't, because I've clicked that so many times. But basically, it will add people to your mailing list, and it can automatically send cards to those people visiting your site. A question is there a monthly fee? Depends. There's 2 pricing plans. Kind of just bring those in. It's there's a $49 a month fee if you want to buy down to the wholesale rate, or 99 cents per card if you're just on a free, no recurring payment. And basically, if you do the math, if you plan to send more than 100 cards a month, then the wholesale starts to make sense, the pricing. Okay, so that postcard widget, again, this is explained in the Learning Portal. You simply install this little piece of code. If you're on Conversion Plus, you'll send this code to support where it says install snippets. If you're on KV Core, you can self-serve install it in the web and IDX section, in one of the header or footer sections right there in the edit settings. Or just, you can ask Thanks.io support to install the script or to help you with the installation, or just Inside Real Estate directly. Now, I will mention that Inside Real Estate doesn't support Thanks.io, so don't use the support for anything other than maybe saying, hey, help me install this script. Otherwise, all the support happens on the Thanks.io side. Okay. So that's the mailing list, the retargeting sort of JavaScript widget with the allow address. Again, what that's mostly about is, hey, somebody visits, they don't register, they bounce off your site, but then a few days later they get a card in the mail, and then maybe a few days after that they get another card through the drip campaign feature. I'll walk through here, message templates. Let's go ahead and do that. This is where you sort of add the messages that'll go out. I'll just mention that you can merge in custom fields. So if you upload, say, a list of absentee homeowners and you want to, merge in the actual physical address of the property, but then send to the address of the owner, these custom fields would allow you to do that. Type message, embed codes. I'm kind of just playing around here. And then if you want to send a template, here's kind of what the flow looks like. Trying to find a real estate example. So real estate expired. Here's one, real estate want to sell, that I've made earlier. So I'll click play. So it's loaded up the message. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the real estate want to sell templates. What I'm trying to get to, guys, I want to show you what the handwritten font looks like. So on a message. So take a second to load up there. Let's preview, save and continue. And you can kind of see, I'll try to make it bigger. You can kind of see, it'll give you a preview. And one of the things that's going on here is that this font, in my opinion, this is the one that looks the most realistic. You have a few to choose from right here. But this font, there's actually different weights and angles and different things going on with the actual lettering. So the high is kind of blurry. You might not see this over GoToWebinar, but it varies. And when you first get this in the mail, when you first get it in the mail, your eyes are drawn to it, like, oh, what did this person send me? So, and the point is, it's just a postcard. They don't have any envelope to open. So whatever the offer is, if it's compelling enough, it'll get read and responded to. That's the theory, at least. So that's what it looks like. Then you have the image templates library. This is where you can upload your own images, or if you click create image, it'll take you back into that wizard I showed you earlier with all the templates. You can see here, I was doing something really creepy. Maybe you want to try it out yourself. I was sending postcards to specific gurus like Frank Kern and people like that. There's Dean Jackson. He's a real estate guy. Tristan, I was hitting up, right? So you could stalk people here, and then it feels like you sent them a personal card. All right. It's your library. And then the last thing, maybe not the last, but one of the big things I want to show you next was the campaigns feature. And what the campaigns feature does is it allows you to send a sequence of cards to a mailing list. Let's see here. Test list. And then you'd pick your message template and your image templates that are pre-built. This is kind of similar to what you would do in KV Core when you have the templates pre-built and you add them to a campaign. And then you have these options here where you can set cards to go out a specific number of days after they're added to a mailing list. But you can also do some really interesting stuff like send on a birth date. So if you upload a list of birthdays, or if you upload a list of closing dates and call those birthdays, a card can go out every year. So start thinking about those Happy House anniversary cards. If you want everybody on your mailing list and you have the birthday to get a birthday card every year, you can sort of pre-configure that so it happens automatically. There are also cards that will be triggered 7 days in advance of holidays. So Happy New Year's, Happy April Fool's Day, things like that can be set up here. And we've actually helped a few people set up year-round 12 touch. Every month a card goes out to somebody in your farm, those kind of campaigns. So I was going to kind of bring an example of that, just what it looks like here. So a little bit of work to set this up. The team at Thanks.io is willing to help you with the design. You can see that the logo of the agent is overlaid on some of these images, and then we actually have some scripts that we can just give you for these cards. So Jeffrey's asking, I came in late, how do we as KV Core customers get to Thanks.io? It's right there in the marketplace, guys, whether you're on Conversion Plus or KV Core, and it'll be sort of toward the bottom. And I should have mentioned, you'll automatically get 10 free cards to kind of play around with if you want to send yourself a sample, send somebody a happy birthday or whatever, just to get the hang of it. Your account will be automatically loaded up with 10 cards when you do that. So it's right there in the marketplace. So yeah, the campaigns is a really, really big feature. You might go through the trouble of setting up a year-round or maybe a quarterly campaign to everybody in your farm or on your past client list. But once you set it up, the idea here is that it's sort of set and forget it. You don't have to keep managing this, from day to day. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my doc. No problem, Jeffrey. And let's talk about, that was our quick product tour. Let's talk about some of those example uses. I showed you the postcard retargeting. It might be helpful. Let me show you. I have a video about this, but it might be helpful if I showed you what an example postcard retargeting card might look like, and I can do that quickly. So, real estate examples. So here's one. I don't know if Kyle's a KV Core user or not, but you can kind of see his card on the screen. I did a video about it, but he just keeps it really simple. You know, thinking of buying or selling, somebody hits his site, then the card goes out, it has his contact info, and then on the back side of the card, it just says, hey, thanks for visiting my website recently. Here's my cell if you need it. Thanks, Judy. Yeah, the campaigns are really cool. So that's sort of what we mean by postcard retargeting. They hit your website, you send them something with your contact info. You don't overcomplicate it. It's just so they kind of remember who you are. And keep in mind, if you're using, through KV Core and Conversion Plus, they're going to start getting drip emails with your name on them every day. But they might also be getting stuff from 5 other competitors in the market. So if you're the only one who all of a sudden there's this physical card, it looks like you wrote them a message, you're giving them your cell number, right? Who do you think has a better in there? Especially when these days people aren't picking up the phone. This is just another way to get at them. Other things you can do, just sold, just listed. I kind of went through some of those example designs. If you have an open house, I wouldn't try to advertise, today's Wednesday, I wouldn't try to market this Sunday's open house because the card's not going to get there fast enough. Generally, it's 3 to 5 business days. Usually it's there in 4, 5, 6 calendar days. But if you know there's an open house the weekend after, then it's definitely a good thing to do. And then other events like first-time home buyer seminars, things like that. You can use things that are for seller, lead gen, and farming. Again, I showed how you can target by homeowner, ownership duration, buyer lead generation, where you can target by age, gender, income. The absentee owners, I just love that use. I know a lot of people build really nice real estate businesses just going after people who live out of town. So, you might have to spend a little time. You go into the tax records, have an assistant build out a CSV of all the absentee homeowners who own a certain type of property. I remember in Philly, I did this with multis and got a few listings. I had went into the tax records. I think at the time I was using send out cards is what I used. And yeah, you just send it out and say, hey, I have investors, right? I send it to all multis who are always buying, looking for cash flowing properties. Any chance you want to sell 123 Main Street? So this is the type of stuff you can do here. And then finally, I rushed through because I didn't know, I figured there was a lot to cover here, but we're gonna have a lot of time for questions. Finally, I wanted to get to some of the one of the biggest kind of benefits of a system like Banks.io used in conjunction with KV Core or Conversion Plus, and that is the automation. So it is totally possible, and I outlined this in the Learning Portal course, to tie, say, all your new seller leads to Thanks.io via Zapier.com, or to use the webhooks in campaigns in either Conversion Plus or KV Core to trigger cards at certain stages in your campaigns. So even this morning, I was testing this out. I have a demo contact here, and you can see somebody was added to the seller lead demo campaign, and then I had it set, it was like a half hour later, it triggered a webhook that sent the address of that seller lead over to Thanks.io and injected them into a mailing list. Now, from there, anytime somebody's added to a mailing list, all this campaign stuff can happen. So picture somebody comes to your KV Core site. I gotta go to example 1, go to Josh's. They check the value of their house, and just imagine a scenario where they put their address in there, they become a lead, maybe they click this allow, they get added to a mailing list inside of Thanks.io, and then these farming cards start coming to them. An initial follow-up goes, hey, thanks for visiting my site. Let me know if you want me to come and do a CMA. And the person kind of ignores you or whatever, you never talk to them. But then they had a lot of intent to begin with when they were on your site. They start seeing these follow-up cards. And after some time, this is all about multiple touches, right? Maybe you do 33 months of touches, you hit 33 touches in the mail. You start to become the top of mind agent that they want to work with. So, and all, automatically through Zapier or webhooks. So again, like I said, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of all that on the webinar here because it would take a really long time. And I think there's only a certain segment of you guys who might be interested in getting that, geeky with it, but all of that stuff is in the Learning Portal course for you to go through. We have trainings on all of that. Okay, so I'm gonna slow down here. I know that was very fast, and I'll let you guys, does anybody have any questions about this? Maybe let me know if you're already using Postcards, if there are any features that you're wondering about, whether they exist, and let me know what you think. Are you guys all just like logging in and yeah, looks like a handful of you are. So no questions? Did I go too fast? Any feedback? Okay. Well, I don't see any reason why we need to keep you guys here longer than necessary. Let me look here. Denise is saying, I handwrite all mine. Ugh, where do you find absentee or homeownership duration? Great. So yeah, you know, if you handwrite all yours, that's fine. This is going to look pretty real, and there is something to be said, you know, for actually doing the handwriting and putting it in a nice envelope with an, you know, there might be situations where that is better than what's going on here. But yeah, so where do you find these leads with home ownership duration? I think my partners, I noticed this morning, I think they locked down the ability to buy the lists for only the wholesale plans. I'm sorry about that. I actually didn't know that was happening. But when you're on the wholesale plan, you can click the buy leads button right here, and then that's where you can start to do this targeting. Also, you can target businesses, by the way, which is very interesting, especially if you're working the investor market and doing commercial. You can target specific businesses based on the size of business. And then where it's going to be is in this demography tab, and that's where you can start to drill down by whether it's single family, multi, length of residence, homeowner or renter, gender, marital status. Here's the ages, right? So you can definitely, you know, make sure you're hitting people of home buying age right there. Just check off the ones you want. And opportunity seekers. You know, I know a lot of you guys, just by the nature of real estate, have side hustles, you know, network marketing companies, things like that. There is also a data set here for that. And, you know, it brings up an interesting point. You could say, hey, I'm going to include opportunity seekers in this list, but I'm going to go after homeowners. I mean, I want to get the listing first, but it would be nice to know that everybody get my card might want to join me in, you know, Amway, whatever it is you're doing, right? So there we go. That's where that is. And of course, you can upload your own mailing list. You can buy lists from third parties. You can export your list from a Conversion or KV Core and upload them here if you want as well. Thanks, Denise. Cool. So yeah, I went really quick. I don't think that some people will mind. I can show you some of the cards that have been going out as examples. And keep in mind that most of the customers, probably about 2/3 of the customers here are e-commerce related, where they have online stores and they trigger cards automatically and make like offer promo codes and things like that. But here's a few real estate examples. No, it's just postcards right now, no brochures, to answer that question. So here's one going from Joe Oz, really good marketer in California, KV Core user, I believe, Conversion Plus user. Hi, recently had a listing in the area that sold, but left me with a bunch of buyers who are looking to buy something similar. If you have considered selling your home and would allow me to take a look, give me a call. So very conversational. I really like the way he pulled that off. He didn't overthink things. He just kind of used our stock template, right? So didn't get bogged down. One of the things I see a lot of people do with this sort of thing is they get bogged down in the design. And really, that front side of the card, it's not critically overly important. You know, you don't have to get bogged down in that. As I say that, I'm remembering a big thing I'm forgetting. I wanted to show you guys an example of how you might integrate a text code with these cards. So maybe we'll do that here in a second. So here's David. I hope he doesn't mind. David's doing some basic postcard retargeting, just simply a picture of himself and his logo, right? Just so people know who he is. And then he is saying, very simple. Hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, my sell is. And that's it. You know, sometimes that's all it's about. Somebody was on your site, they are looking to buy, they got distracted, they get this card in the mail, like, oh, I'll call this guy. That's the guy who's been sending me emails. you know, that might be the moment when they're ready to talk to you, when that card lands in their hands. So Denise asking, can it integrate with Zillow? So the way that it kind of, I don't know if Zillow will allow you to send your leads out through Zapier. If they do, then yes, you could send leads directly into Thanks.io, but probably the better way to do it would be to send them into your KV Core system first, and then zap them out of KV Core into Thanks.io system. Let's see here. Just trying to find you guys maybe another real estate example or two. But we have lots of examples in that Learning Portal course. And of course, I'll be, as a follow-up from time to time in the Facebook group, we'll probably mention examples of what other people are doing. So that's that. Let me show you that flow. Bob says Zillow does allow it. Yeah, so you could drop your Zillow leads directly into here. But again, I think a better flow is in the process of sending them the KV Core, send the push out this way. By the way, you see those yellow cards right there? Those are, there's very simple designs. They seem to be very popular and are working really well. So here's Dustin. Dustin, I hope you don't mind me showing this. You might be on right now. But again, just a picture, logo, keeping it really simple. And then details. Thank you for visiting our website. Just want to take this opportunity to introduce yourself. My name is with company. If you have any questions or want to view any properties, you can reach me here. Very, very simple. That's the ideal, probably the place to start. And in the Learning Portal course, to kind of walk you through the step-by-step on that. Does anybody have any examples uses that you think you might use this for? And if you do, and you want any help with the creatives, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you with that. But real estate's just one of those businesses where there's so many ways to skin a cat, so many different types of properties and niches that you can work with. So, you know, I'm sure your mind's swimming with options here with Thanks.io. All right, let's make a demo campaign. All right, I'm going to let's offer a bunch of homeowners in my market here. I'm not actually going to send it, but let's offer a list of income properties. One of my favorite approaches. Here's a card from Carrie, ready to sell or buy. She's got a picture of her dog right there. So let's offer I'm going to click the send postcards, and I'm going to offer a list of cash flowing income properties to a bunch of homeowners in my area, knowing that if they opt in to this offer, that they also probably have a house to sell. So I went to the send card. I'm going to go to the real estate thing here section, and I like this design, the cash flowing income properties. Now, I'm now going to go into KV Core, and I'm going to build myself a text code that I'm going to overlay on the top of this. Okay. So let's go close. I'm going to go to lead engine. In Conversion Plus, this is under lead generation. It works very much the same way. I'm going to click on call capture. And let's add a new code, income properties. Hi, here's that list of income opportunities. Okay, so my code is going to be income properties. Here's that list of income opportunities. Made a mistake here. I need to do this quickly again. Hi, here's that list of income opportunities. I'm not going to bore you guys with creating a link, but you're going to want to create a link to the properties. So link to properties, right? I would actually paste that right here, and then I'll select the smart number. But what I need right now is just the code and the smart number. And now what I can do, back to my design and thanks, there we go. I can grab a line of text. I can pick the display. Let's grab this one. And I'm going to say text income properties to, and then I need to put the cell number in. This will all look clearer here in a second, guys. So I need to set my color. We'll make it red. Maybe I'll set my background to be white. That. I'm a big fan of very ugly. You can do what you want to do, but just for a quick demo, text income properties 2, and then I need my smart number, 760-712. 760-712-0448. I'm not sure that was the right number, but for demo purposes, we're just going to kind of leave it like this. I like to go a lot uglier. Let's do yellow background. And then let's get our drawing tool here and do underline income properties, put some arrows to the number. This is just my style. You might like more corporate, totally cool. I like to put ugly arrows everywhere just so people are like, what the heck is this thing? Okay, so it looks like I kind of made this by hand. All right, now I'm going to click next. It's going to give me a preview of what the card looks like. Cool. Save and continue. Hi. If you've thought about investing in some Gulfport, Florida area real estate, you can access my list of cash flowing income opportunities now. Just text income properties to whatever that number was. I always forget what it is, blah, 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 right? Thanks. Ryan, and then you could put your cell if you want, right? Right there. You put your number and other contact info, or just make it so they have no other option but to text the income properties. Then over here on the right side, it's going to give me a preview, right? So it kind of looks like I wrote this for them, right? I got that ugly drawing on the other side. You know, I got all this weirdness going on, and then I get this handwritten thing. And then here I get to this part where I can either just drop a pin on the map and send to everybody in the neighborhood, but I want to get a little more targeted. So I'm going to go into here and build a mailing list. It takes just a second to load sometimes. Okay, and I'm going to pick individuals, pick the town that I'm targeting. All right, Shane, not right now. I'll just do it by zip code. There we go. And then I'm going to pick demography. Let's send this only to homeowners who've been in their house, who probably might have a little spare cash. So we'll do everybody who's making 150K or more. They live in a single family home, and they're definitely a homeowner. So up here at the top right, it's going to update. It's going to tell me how many people they found. So it did find 944. And I could buy that list of 50 people or 100 people right now. Sorry, Judy. Judy says I was going a bit fast there. So basically, all of this is detailed in the Learning Portal course, but what I did was I went through the wizard and I built the card, and then on the next page, it gave me address options. I'll show you right here. I agree. So I just added that list and these 5 tabs right up top. Good question, Jeffrey. I'll show you that. I'll show you that in just a second. Jeffrey wants to know how to mail himself a card, so I'll do that here in a second. And then we'll click Save and Continue. And there's a preview of the card that'll go out in the mail right there. And when people receive this card, remember, it's a pretty targeted list. They make a certain amount of money. They own homes in my target market. I'm making a pretty, you know, if you're interested in investing in property, this is something that'll make somebody curious. They'll start texting my smart number, and I'll get real cell number leads right there. And then I just click Submit Order, right? And I'd be good to go right there. Now, I'm not going to do this. I don't have it ready yet, but that's kind of how the flow works. So to send yourself a card, let me show you guys that. This is it's a good point. I'll show you exactly how to do that. So just to send yourself a card, I would just click the Send Postcards again here. We can choose funny. I'll choose a funny category. Is there anything really funny in here? This is a very corny card. Use that one. Okay, save and continue. Hi, Ryan. It's you. It's your past self from last Wednesday's webinar. Use a card, bro. Woo. All right. So that's that. Save and continue. And then what you'll do, if you just want to send it to yourself, just manually right here, add a new address. So I can add my address. Now you could also go to the mailing list page and create a mailing list with only you in it. And then you would send to an existing list right here with only you in it. There's a few kind of ways, and it all starts to make sense once you start using the system. But this, exactly what I'm showing here, is probably the quickest way to send yourself a card. Oh wait, put your name, not your address. Should have sent my wife a card. She would have thought I was thinking about her. I am thinking about her. Let's have to send her to the webinar. All right, so there we go. Add new recipient, save. And now I just save and continue, review the card, and can send it out. Denise, great question. Is the postage done for you? Yeah, the postage is all included. So you're not putting any postage on, you're not writing anything, you're not buying card stock or all that stuff that you might otherwise do. As soon as you hit send, this card will show up in the orders. So I'm going to click submit order. There's an hour cancellation window. So for that hour, it'll show like a sample recipient. You'll get an email confirmation, and then you can go back and look in your orders list, and you'll see all the cards that went out. So I can see this one right here. It's in the review process. Right there. Here's a couple more real estate ones going out. So yeah, if you're watching this webinar right now, either on replay or live, you can go ahead and do pretty much what I just did to send yourself a card directly, and you should have 10 credits loaded up into your account, and it'll just let you send that first one. Okay. So cool. Yeah, no problem, Denise. The replays, guys, are always going to be available at insiderealestate.com /replays. We have a YouTube playlist right there. We also are building out in the learning portal, we'll also have these replays in a special section too, so you can always find them right there. But all the replays, and this replay will be sitting in the list here too. Yeah, Judy's asking, can we upload our own photo? Yeah, so let's, here, I'll show. So I can go to my image templates. So a lot of people, I like to think money follows speed. Here I'm in the school bus office, right? So I'm gonna just take a screenshot. Wait, that didn't work. Crazy face, right? Go like that. Boink. Save it to my computer. And now what I can do is create image, Ryan selfie, continue to designer. And whatever design you're working on here, you can place it over the top. So let's go back to one of our real estate. Actually, I'll go to my yellow attention grabbers. These are really good, guys. If you just want to keep things really simple, here, we'll do the high one. And then now I can upload that image that I just saved to my hard drive. Like that. Alrighty. I mean, if you want somebody to flip the card over, right? Just make the craziest face possible. Go like that. I'm like, what is this? But yeah, that's how you do it. Rob's asking, what's the size? They are 4x6 right now. I can actually do what I just did. I have a couple sitting next to me. Here, let me do that again so you guys can see me. Here's kind of what they look like. This one's a little beat up because I pick it up and show it in videos a lot. Let's get rid of this. But yeah, here's what they look like. And I can say firsthand that this stuff really works. The retargeted postcard in the mail. because Thanks.io itself, the primary way that it's been growing and getting users, it's doing really well, is by getting the lead online, getting somebody to sign up online, and then postcards showing up in the mail in those campaigns. And I can see the activity where somebody was there, they bounced off, and then they come back they come back later when they get the card. So it's going to work the same way for your business. It's proving out to work for many business owners. If you happen to have an e-commerce business, or your spouse does, and you're selling on Amazon or Shopify or something like that, I tell you, this is just crazy powerful, guys. We see people using Thanks.io to generate additional reviews on Amazon. They're sending people straight into Facebook Messenger to engage and leave a review and send screenshots, all kinds of amazing stuff. So, yeah. Great, guys. Thank you for watching. We're about 46 minutes in, which is usually right around where I think that's enough, right? I'll definitely get this replay live of Thanks.io. If you have any questions, again, the support team at Thanks.io will handle everything Thanks.io specific. Don't bog down the KV Core or Conversion Plus support team. Probably the only thing you would ever need to talk to them about is if you have any issues installing your postcard retargeting script. They might be able to help you with that. But honestly, if you open a ticket on the Thanks.io side of things, a few of us on that side of things are familiar with KV Core and Conversion Plus. We'll probably just get you going. So use support at Thanks.io. Definitely check out the Learning Portal course. There's a lot of specific examples and how-tos in there as well. Thank you, Judy. That's really nice to hear. It's nice feedback. Yeah, you guys probably hear it. I'm pretty proud of this one. So thank you for the positive feedback. And yeah, there's the course right there. We'll get the replay up live, and we'll see you all. If you're a Conversion Plus user, we'll see you at 2 o'clock for the weekly Conversion Plus strategy session. Otherwise, KV Core users, we'll see you Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern for the weekly strategy session. And don't forget to check us out in the Inside Real Estate Success Strategies group if you're not already in there. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.